is our time now. Where we're going, these dreams we're holding. Oh, and now we know it. All the world is ours to take. You and me will find a way. Oh, the wonder that awaits. Here we are, forever starts today.
So Madeline and I met last year. We were country dancing.
I went country dancing and met him, and we danced a couple times, and afterwards we talked for a little bit, and then he asked me for my number.
For the first time I saw her, I was just obviously attracted to her. She had this light and glow about her.
I could just tell right away from the first look at him that he was such a nice guy and he had such a good countenance.
We danced together, and then afterwards I asked her for her number.
He actually didn't text me until the next semester.
Dumb on my part, but I didn't reach out to her for a while. It was not until the next semester that we both saw each other country dancing again. And I would see her for like a couple weeks in a row. And I was like, okay, I need to ask this girl on a date.
When we met each other again at country dancing, and after that he asked me on our first date.
After country dancing one night, then I called her up and she didn't answer, so I left her a voicemail.
I was going on dates with a lot of other people, and so I was getting an incoming call from a number that I didn't know, and so I just let it go to voicemail because I was like, oh, it's just some other boy asking me out, like I don't want to answer it.
And she texted me back. She's like, thank you so much for asking me on a date. I would love to.
When I got his voicemail, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Kendall Noble, like I had to go out with him. And
so our first date was kind of a risky move on my part, but it was a really long date.
He took me to the library, and he took me to a big atlas with a map in it, and he told me to close my eyes and point down on the page, and wherever I landed, that's where we would make food for dinner.
So she ended up closing her eyes and pointed to like Mexico, California area. So we ended up making fish tacos, and afterwards we went to one of the buildings on campus and played indoor mini golf with cardboard boxes and a bunch of random stuff. It was fun.
Kendall and I totally won. We totally beat the other couple that was with us, and then afterwards he played the piano for me in a little music room, and I just thought he was so cool, like that he could sing and play the piano so good. And then we went Latin dancing, and then afterwards we watched a movie, and it was by far the most fun date that I've been on, and he definitely stood out to me from any other guy that I ever met or talked to or went on a date with.
I mean, she'd probably been on like 6 other dates that week with different guys, and she told me it was the best date that she went on that week, so yeah, very good date, very sweet.
I love our first kiss story. It was like the best kiss ever. So we had been dating for a while, and he hadn't kissed me, and which I really liked. It just made me really respect him even more than I did before. And
that night, it was the day right after my birthday actually. We were just walking around on campus, and there are orchards on campus. So we just took a walk around the orchards, and we were just telling each other about different missionary experiences that we had, and just spiritual experiences and favorite things about our mission.
We were walking, holding hands, and walking up and down the rows of apple trees,
and so we're just walking back and forth through all of them, and then we finally got back to the very center, the very middle, and we just kind of stopped.
We just stopped in the middle of the orchard, and we were just talking and just saying nice things about each other, and he told me that I kind of just had all the qualities and stuff that he was looking for in a future companion and a wife, and I told him that he had the same for me. He had all the qualities that I wanted, and
just kind of held each other there, and kind of, we're just holding each other there, just kind of staring into each other's eyes, and just laid it on her and just kissed a couple times, and then it was super cute. I just remember her saying right afterwards, she just looks up and she's like, "Yay!"
I was so happy, I was so excited, so I just yelled "yay" afterwards, and yeah, it was just the best kiss ever, just filled with butterflies and so much happiness.
So how I proposed, Madeline and I, it was over the summer in August. We were both in Seattle working, and we went on a week-long trip to California on the beach with my family.
I had no idea that he was going to propose. I had no idea that he had a ring.
On the second day, then I had my brother and sister, Preston and Brianna, go make a sandcastle on the beach.
It was at sunset, and it was super pretty. And we're just walking along, and I'm just talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, look at that!" And I see a little sandcastle. I'm like, "Oh, fun sandcastle, cool."
We're walking on the beach, and prior to, I had written her a poem. They had stuck it at the top of the sandcastle, so I was super nervous.
And he's like, "Look at what's on top of it." And on top of it was a little note, all rolled up with a ribbon. And I was just like, "Oh, cool! Someone put a note on there." And he's like, "Go read it." And I was like, "No, I don't want to read someone else's note. What if they need that?"
First she was confused, that's not our sandcastle. So then she kind of, started thinking.
And he's like, "No, look at it. Go read the note." And then I noticed on the sandcastle in rocks was written K+M, and then it was written on it "I love you." So I was like, "Oh my goodness, this sandcastle's for me."
So she got the note, and the poem, it just kind of led up to me asking her the question.
So I went and I opened up the note, and it was a poem that Kendall had written, and it was just the cutest poem ever.
So as she was reading it, I got on my knee, pulled out the ring, and she handed the rest of it over to me, so I finished reading the poem with a few last words, and then just popped the question.
He got down on one knee and told me how much he loved me and asked me to marry him, and it was just so happy and wonderful. And you always think about how you're gonna get proposed to, or your dream proposal, but I couldn't imagine it any other way than what it was. I thought it was just so perfect. I know that Heavenly Father sent you to me. You have been nothing but a huge blessing to me in my life, and you are absolutely everything that I've ever prayed for and ever wanted. And so I just want to thank you for being you, and for being so kind and so loving to me. And I'm so happy that it is you, and that I get to marry you, and that I get to love you forever. And I just don't want you to ever forget how much I love you, and you're just perfect and amazing, and I love you so much.
Madeline, I just want to express my gratitude to you and tell you that you are the greatest catch I could have ever found. These past 8 months with you, 9 when you watch this video, have been the best. I couldn't have asked for a better wife. I know that you'll be the best wife and mother that I could ever ask for. And I just want to say I love you from the very bottom of my heart. Can't wait to marry you.
Stars, I always wanna happy where you are. Everything is how it should be when you're with me. Dreamers, we are dreaming of all the days that lie ahead. With you, I'll be with you until the very end.